It's Scott. I first met my friend Dick Boak through music. He was head of artist relations at Martin Guitars. I knew he was a renowned guitar guru, but as I got to know him better, I found out that he was also a fine artisan, a designer, an architect, a musician, a writer, an historian, and a world-class illustrator. Back in the day, he was a traveling, free-spirited hippie art teacher who found a place only 10 miles from where he grew up, where he could take all of his artistic talents and put them to work.
I look at art as a number of different genres, techniques, mediums, and at some point, as you invest in each area, all of them meld together into one thing. I look at it as an approach to doing. I grew up in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I was a strange little kid, and at the age of 6, I had an eye accident where my eye was punctured, and I was in the hospital for the better part of 5 weeks with my both eyes taped shut and completely blind. And when the bandages came off, even though I had a little bit of vision in my damaged eye, it really changed everything. And the fact that I had had no vision for such a long time made me appreciate vision above everything else. As a kid, I started to draw, and I was drawing literally this close because of my vision. And so I was concerned with minute details. The illustrations go into a level of detail which seem intentionally to be impossible. As you'll see in my drawings, there's a tremendous respect for nature. I love nature. As a matter of fact, I think that's my religion. And trees are beautiful things. You know, they emerge out of the soil, they take years to grow, they bend with the wind and are impacted by their environment in much the way people are. And I think that trees have a soul. And when you cut them open, that soul is exhibited in the beauty of the wood, and it's the best material for the tone of musical instruments. I started making guitars when I was about 11 years old out of old oak doors and leather and mat board and plywood and anything that I could find. And it really wasn't until I discovered Martin Guitars that pretty much changed my life. A major shift from illustration into refined guitar making and micro carpentry. Martin Guitars is the oldest guitar maker in America and the oldest surviving instrument maker in the world. 6 generations of Martins from 1833 to current day. I had built a lot of really terrible guitars by the time I got to Martin, and Martin taught me what a real guitar was and how you could manipulate tone through the use of different woods. You cut it and tap it and it goes thud, or it goes ping, and you can manipulate the wood, choose the pieces in much the same way that a winemaker might choose grapes, and create tonality from it. There's nothing better. I consider the wood sacred. So I started Martin Guitar in 1976, and I started as a design draftsman, working on all the models and for the first time getting them documented. After that, I was fortunate to build prototypes, and that morphed into starting up the store, which was called the 1833 Shop. Eventually, I got the job that I always wanted, which was the head of the advertising department. At the point that Eric Clapton did the Unplugged show, I started receiving phone calls, "What is Eric playing?" And that led to one of our early signature models, which was so successful that Martin put me on that full-time as artist relations. The number of artists that I've worked with over the years really reads like a who's who of American music and culture. So as I move into my later years at Martin, I've focused on extending the legacy of Martin Guitars by building the archives and setting up the incredible museum that we have. I wanted to be an artist, and I wanted to be pure. I didn't want to be commercial whatsoever. ending up at Martin Guitars was a perfect compromise from my perspective. It incorporated creativity, woodworking, potential for my artistic nature to kind of unfold into so many different areas. And I always felt that I was pretending to be what I wanted to become in order to become it. So that's what I'm doing.
Great.